Mosley and Pashun Jeffery shared a bond that only a mom can have with her son.
Did you ever see this coming?
I told him this morning I would have never in a million years when this week started ever thought that something like this was happening. We were supposed to have Taylen Saturday.
Instead, the toddler's great-great-aunt, Theo Brickhouse Sales, is planning his funeral.
Adjusting without them in life is going to be hard.
How do you think you do that?
I don't know. I have no clue.
She said
she threw him a birthday party. She cooked, she cleaned, she invited his family and friends into her home to celebrate him. And when everyone left and she was alone with him, he stabbed her over 100 times. Then he picked up their 2-year-old son, drove to a lake, and threw him into the water. Pashun Jeffery was 20 years old. Taylen Mosley was 2, and the man charged with ending both of their lives was the father of that little boy, the same man Pashun had just celebrated. This is their story. Pashun Jeffery was a St. Petersburg, Florida native. She went to Benito Middle School, Boca Chica High School, and graduated from Northeast High School. She was 20 years old, living on her own for the first time, working at a CVS on 4th and 9th Avenue North, and raising her 2-year-old son as a single mother. Her great-aunt Theo Brickhouse Sales described her simply, "This was her first month to have lived here and very happy to have a better place than what she had before. For a 20-year-old, she was doing well. She wanted more out of life. She wanted more out of life, and she was getting it, on her own terms, building something for herself and her son." Taylen Mosley was 2 years old. His family described him as a sweet and happy toddler. He had his whole life ahead of him. He had done nothing wrong. He was just a baby who loved his mother. Their GoFundMe said it best. Pashun knew being a single mom would be challenging, but she was determined to provide for her son. On March 29th, 2023, Pashun Jeffery threw Thomas Mosley a birthday party at her apartment at Lincoln Shores Apartments in St. Petersburg. Thomas Mosley was turning 21. Pashun opened her home. Family and friends gathered. By all accounts, it was a normal celebration. The last guest left at approximately 5:15 p.m. That was the last time anyone saw Pashun or Taylen alive. According to investigators, Thomas Mosley killed Pashun that evening, stabbing her more than 100 times inside her own apartment, the same apartment where she had just celebrated him hours before. Then, sometime around 8:42 p.m., he left and took Taylen with him. He drove to Lake Maggiore, a lake located more than 10 miles from Pashun's apartment. According to investigators, he either threw or placed 2-year-old Taylen into that water. Then he drove to his mother's house, arriving around 9:03 p.m. with deep gashes on his hands and arms, wounds consistent, according to investigators, with slippage during a knife attack. He then admitted himself to St. Anthony's Hospital to have his wounds treated.
At first up here at 6 today, friends and family laid a young mother and her 2-year-old son to rest. Police say Pashun Jeffery and Taylen Mosley were killed in St. Pete a little more than a week ago by Taylen's father. Fox 13's Kaylee Tracy joined us now live outside the First Baptist Church of St. Petersburg with more from that service. Kaylee, can't help but notice that church was packed.
It was. The emotion in there palpable, and family and friends, they wore pink and blue to honor the mother and son who they said were inseparable. Family and friends of Pashun Jeffery and Taylen Mosley gathered in First Baptist Church of St. Petersburg Friday.
We come most of all to praise God for the life of Sister Pashun and young Taylen.
To say their final goodbyes.
While we may not understand, we are still saddled with the grief that accompanies this movement. But our faith tells us that we look unto God.
Flowers covered Pashun's white casket with her son's Toy Story casket right beside hers. Family and friends saying they were rarely apart and shared a special bond.
It just shattered me because she didn't deserve this. She loved her little boy so much.
Pashun's family says the 20-year-old mother was determined to give her son the best life possible and worked at the CVS on 4th and 9th Avenue North.
I wish I could see you smile again. I really wish I could see you laugh again. Maybe you can give your son a hug and you feel your skin to skin.
Pashun's family says this picture from her graduation shows just how proud she was of what she'd accomplished. Friends and family describe Pashun as someone with a great sense of humor who loved her little boy beyond words.
I want her to be remembered as like the most genuine person ever. Someone that you can always call and she would listen to you and always be there for you.
Sorry was it death for you. I know you're in a better place, both of y'all. I'll see you again one day.
The following day, March 30th, Pashun's family grew concerned when they could not reach her. They asked apartment staff to conduct a welfare check. Staff spotted blood on the sidewalk outside. What they found inside was described as a gruesome crime scene. Pashun Jeffery was dead. Taylen was nowhere to be found. An Amber Alert was immediately issued for the 2-year-old. A massive search operation launched involving local, state, and federal agencies. Dive teams searched the water. Volunteers combed the area. Then, as officers searched near Del Holmes Park and Lake Maggiore, they spotted something in the water, an alligator, with something in its mouth. It was Taylen. The alligator was shot and killed so that Taylen's body could be recovered.
One round to the alligator dropped the object that he had in his mouth, and we were able to retrieve Taylen's body intact.
The Pinellas County medical examiner later confirmed his cause of death: drowning. Taylen Mosley's body was intact when found. He had been drowned before the alligator got to him. Thomas Mosley was arrested on the night of March 31st, 2023. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Prosecutors filed notice that they would seek the death penalty.
On Tuesday, prosecutors asked a judge to approve a subpoena for Mosley's medical records, saying his injuries are relevant to their case.
It will give the state information in its investigation as to the treatment, how severe these injuries were, how they had to be treated, what the surgery entailed, all of that information, which is highly relevant to our crimes of first-degree murder.
Prosecutors also played body camera video that showed Pashun Jeffery's mother talking to officers about Mosley's birthday party the same day Mosley later went to the hospital and a day before Pashun Jeffery was found dead.
Yesterday was her baby daddy's birthday time, and it was his birthday. Do you know if they were drinking or anything? I just know they were smoking. Smoking weed? Yeah.
Prosecutors say toxicology reports would show whether Mosley was under the influence of anything else before or at the time of the homicides.
This is where the case takes a deeply frustrating turn for Pashun and Taylen's family. In October 2023, a judge ruled that Thomas Mosley was incompetent to stand trial. 2 court-appointed mental health experts evaluated him and recommended involuntary commitment to a secure psychiatric facility. The judge agreed and sent Mosley to the state psychiatric hospital in Chattahoochee, Florida. Mosley had told evaluators he attempted suicide 3 times since 2019, the 3rd time on his own birthday in 2023, right before his arrest. He was placed on antipsychotic medication, anxiety medication, and antidepressants during his time at the facility. By early 2024, a doctor at the facility testified that Mosley had been restored to competency and was able to understand his case and assist in his own defense. A second competency hearing was held in June 2024. 13 recorded jail calls Mosley made after returning from the hospital were admitted into evidence by the judge. As of this video, Thomas Mosley faces 2 counts of first-degree murder, and prosecutors are still seeking the death penalty. A joint funeral for Pashun and Taylen was held on April 7th, 2023, at the First Baptist Church of St. Petersburg. Justice for Pashun Jeffery. Justice for Taylen Mosley. Thank you for watching.